All right, moving on to the next one. I think we've heard quite a lot of times now that the next 25 years are going to be really, really crucial for the Indian insurance industry, and we're going to see a lot of changes coming through. And our next session is also going to be on it. Indian insurance, crystal ball gazing for Amrit Kaal. May I please invite Mr. Alpesh Shah, MD and Senior Partner, Boston Consulting Group, on the stage, please. And to chair the session, Ms. Preeti Chandrashekhar, Business Leader, Retirement, Health and Benefits, Mercer, India. You're requested to place your questions on the Slido, and the chairperson will get to see those questions.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It is always a challenge to have this session just before lunch. So let's hope you find it engaging. The topic for us today is insurance industry crystal ball gazing for Amrit Kaal. We've talked a lot about Amrit Kaal since morning. So from my perspective, I think Amrit Kaal as a term had its origin in the Vedic philosophy in India, where it is actually a pivotal moment for us which leads to a most auspicious period. And if you take it to the context of our industry, the insurance industry, it will be the last 25 years which lead to sort of 100 years post-independence, which means it's a critical time slot for us to work to reach the highest potential. So let's talk a bit on what are the challenges that we are facing as industry, and from a crystal ball standpoint. We are seeing that consumer needs are evolving. There's a lot of things that is getting personalized and customer-centric. Various dimensions there I would like to mention is look at the change in demographics. There's so much global mobility now. And we also have longevity, which is a challenge, which the chairman PFRD alluded upon in the morning. The second thing is we all are talking about consumer behavior changing. There's so much change in what the needs of the consumers are. The third point, which is perhaps pertinent to all of us, is skills. We are talking of an era where we don't even know the shape and form of future jobs. So how do we skill ourselves for those? The fourth point is, in the last World Economic Forum that was held recently, they talked about polycrisis. Too many things happening at the same time. So how do we handle that? And back home, IRDA talked about insurance for all by 2047. So there's a lot of things that are happening. And I'm very delighted to have Mr. Alpesh Shah, who will share his insights after gazing into the crystal ball. And without much ado, I would request him to take over.
So I guess I'm standing between all of you and lunch, so I will try and keep it interesting. I will not say short, because I have no idea how long I will take, but at least I'll try and keep it interesting. So I think, as Preeti said, there's a lot that is changing. And as you start, in a way, looking at the crystal ball, I thought I would actually start by just sharing 3 things which lead us to what the crystal ball could show us. The first one is that insurance is actually a very critical need. If I think about it very simply, there are only 4 financial needs that human beings have, right? Especially when I look at individuals. The most basic need is transacting. So all of us have to transact. You buy something, you sell something, we all have to transact. So that's where payments has come in. The second big financial need is actually to insure. So if you're a farmer, how do you insure against flood, how do you insure against famine? If you're a small businessman, same thing. How do you insure? How do you protect yourself against certain unforeseen events happening? The third one, obviously, is borrowing money, so lending. And the last one is to save or to invest. If you actually think about it, those are the only 4 financial needs that a human being has. And so insurance is one of them. So that's sort of point 1. Point 2, there has been this whole conversation of insurance for all. And so I guess we are on the journey to that, but how quickly can we make that happen? And the last one is all the changes that are happening. So Preeti mentioned a few, and I just thought I would highlight some of these. Right? There are a lot that has been said. Obviously, everybody talks about technology. Clearly, that's happening. A lot about customer behavior. Everything that customers do today is very different from what they used to do 5, 10, 20 years back. Risks are evolving. So you spoke about longevity. What about self-driven cars? How will that change what happens? What about the whole discussion climate just about half an hour back? Cyber risks, things that we had never even envisaged 20, 30 years back are now becoming front and center for insurance. The good news, there's this whole transition towards public digital infrastructure, which is really helping us. There is Industry 4.0. You can go on, right? Customer centricity, Preeti mentioned. InsurTechs coming in. You look at big data analytics, or you look at ecosystems and partnerships. So there's a lot that is changing. That's all known to you. So then I thought I would put all of this together to say, what does this mean as we look ahead? Right? And I think there are multiple definitions of Amrit Kaal, so I will not go into that. But it's that golden hour as one definition where maximum happiness is attained by us. So in the case of insurance, we're looking at 2047, our centenary, 100 years old. What does the next 25 years have for us? Right? And so that's the next 15 minutes. I promised to keep it short. I looked at this and I said, if I had the crystal ball, and I'll be honest, 23 or 24 years is a long time. If I get this right, even for 5 or 7 years, I'll be very happy. But I thought I would still look ahead and say, what could change from the customer's point of view, from the industry point of view in the next 10, 20, 25 years? So here goes. Let me start with the easiest one of them all, right? So crystal ball prediction number 1. Not surprising, digital will dominate. You all know this. So I thought I would make it come alive. Take the middle column. Today, and you can take different transactions, the world is split between digital, phygital, physical. I'll make it come alive for you. I am the person in the middle. I'm the phygital guy. Right? I understand technology, but even now, I do many things physically, many things digitally. My mother is 80. She just prefers everything physical. My daughter is 20. She prefers everything digital. But even with that, when I look at it today, less than 5%, so if you take, for example, insurance sales, not even 5, likely it'll be 2%. Less than 5% of all sales, and I mean end-to-end, happen digitally. A lot happens in the middle, which is fidgetly, where some things happen digitally, you'll go online and search, but then you'll move to an agent or a call center or otherwise. So there is a lot that happens in the middle, which is what I call phygital. But there is still a lot that happens physically. But we've come a long way. If you look at 2000, there was no digital. It was primarily physical with some phygital. If you fast forward the next 20 years, I have no doubt, less than 10% of activities will be physical. And I know it sounds strange, less than 10%. There is zero doubt on that. And as actuaries, you're going to have to deal with what does that mean? How do you actually get the right information? What do you do with that? Right? But so that's one. This was obvious, so I will jump quickly through this and move on to the next one. So what is sort of forecast number 2? Forecast number 2 is that you'll actually have truly seamless journeys for customers. And now I'm moving on to customers. End-to-end seamless journeys. What does that mean? You would claim that's what we have today, and I will say you don't. So let me paint a picture, I don't know how many years out, right? So let's look ahead. This is 18th of July, 2000 XX. I don't know when. It's 9 p.m. Let's envisage this gentleman, Ajay Kumar, Delhi, that's where we are. 40 years old, 2 children, getting ready to sleep. What does he do? So he tells Alexa, Alexa, wake me up at 5:40 in the morning. It's now the next morning. Alexa has woken him up. He's gotten ready. He's got to go for a game of squash. This is a Saturday. He's now getting ready to go for his game of squash. As he gets ready, he's had his breakfast. He says, Alexa, get out my car. Now, this is the challenge for all of you. As the car comes out, it's self-driven out of his garage, coming out to the porch. The message that he gets is the insurance has shifted from home insurance to motor insurance. Because when the car is parked in the garage, it's the same as having your refrigerator in your kitchen. It's a piece of equipment. And hence, the insurance that covers it is not motor insurance, but home insurance. Okay? And as the car now starts moving, it switches from home insurance to motor insurance. Challenge for all of you. I know I'm making life difficult. Just imagine having to create such products. But this is the future. Right? He now starts driving, and he's in a hurry. He's running a few minutes late. So he gets this alert saying, you've accelerated too quickly. Be careful, otherwise your premium is going to go up. So he says, OK, I should take note of this. Let me go back and figure out all my insurance policies. He goes, plays his game of squash, comes back, takes a shower, has breakfast. It's now 10 in the morning. He just has to figure out what's happening to all my insurance. He asks Alexa, what's happening? What products do I have? He gets all this information easily. Alexa gives him the update saying you have whatever, life, health, motor, all the future products. And says, the good news is in spite of your rash driving in the morning, you've actually been a model driver for the last few weeks. And so you have some bonus points and you can redeem this. But you know what? You've not been as regular in playing squash or getting your workouts done. Hence, you have a negative on your health. And so your premium has gone up. It also reminds him saying, you know what? You've actually got to talk to your advisor. So in the background, Ajay is not doing anything. Alexa reaches out to the advisor, go in and sets up a time. Ajay is indifferent. This meeting gets set up. He will talk to his advisor at some point of time, right? It's now evening. Ajay is sitting at home, Saturday evening. Suddenly he decides that he wants to go with his family for a vacation. So he says, Alexa, can you check for tickets to Goa for the 31st? Alexa now books the tickets for all 4 people to Goa and says, do you really want insurance? Do you want vacation insurance? And now Ajay is surprised. He says, what is vacation insurance? And so Alexa tells him, here is what vacation insurance is. Now challenge number 2 for all the actuaries. This is one product which says, because you're going to be out of the home for 3 or 4 days, the home insurance gets a top up for those 3 days. You cover, obviously, the car travel to and from the airports. You cover the flights. And you have a vacation cancellation insurance. All 4 bundled product into one. Because as a customer, that's what I want. I don't want to go and buy 4 different products. So you get this product which says this is a vacation product, vacation insurance product. And Alex also gives him more information saying, friends of yours have been buying this product. It has a Google rating of X or Y. Do you really want to look at this? And Ajay authorizes Alexa to go ahead and negotiate on his behalf and buy the product. And he has that product. This is a seamless journey as a customer. What will it take to deliver this? And I only gave you 2 really tricky questions, but everything is tricky here, right? Don't get me wrong. Right? But this is a part of the journey. Now, this was the journey in a way at the front end, but the back end or the claim side can be equally futuristic. I'm sure you've seen this. This is a video that has been doing the rounds. I've seen it 86 years back, right? And that's why this is, if you can get the audio on. Sorry. Can you get the audio on, please? Let me try again.
it's just construction. That's all. No. I'm not driving.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you?
I'm good.
Oh, no, not you. Listen, I'm gonna have to call my agent. I'm gonna get right back to you.
Mr. Burton, this is Insure Corp. We've received sensor data that indicates you were in an accident. Are you injured in any way?
I'm not injured, no.
Is anyone else injured?
I don't believe so.
Okay, where's my agent's number?
We have pinpointed your location and we are showing your car is not drivable. So we are dispatching an Uber car to take you to your destination.
That would be great.
I'm pressing 1. English. E-N-G-L-I, English.
May we give your coordinates to our appraiser drone to perform the appraisal?
Absolutely.
We have received the photos, assessed the damage, authorized the repair, selected a qualified repair facility, and have dispatched a tow truck to take your vehicle to that facility.
Perfect.
Yes, hi, this is... Yes, I'll hold.
We have looked up the other vehicle's insurance, transmitted the appropriate data to create the claim, and filed the California SR1 accident report. Can you confirm the information is correct on your phone, then hit the accept button?
I'll check it right now. Okay, all done.
Thank you. Your Uber car is arriving now.
I see it coming.
Accident, not payment. Accident.
Your tow truck should be there now. Don't forget to leave your keys in the vehicle. Thank you for using Insure Corp, powered by Pivotal Labs.
So that's the journey of the future, right? So those are what I call truly end-to-end customer journeys. So that's sort of prediction number 2. Crystal ball prediction number 3, right, is that you'll actually have products which are fit for need, not the other way around. Products fit for need and which are completely customized or personalized. Preeti already mentioned that. And you've seen a lot of these, but if I take each of these, right, this is a challenge for all of us, which means you all have to make this happen. So take each word carefully, right? Customized, contextual, and personalized. So you saw that, for Ajay for his vacation, right? These are real-time products. I'm flying today, I want the product today. These are all bite-sized. So you see a 3-day top-up, it'll be X hours. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks or 2 months. They're bundled. You saw that as well. They're all linked, across different channels, social media, people like you, and so on. And it's across all digital interfaces. Right? Again, many of these things are happening today. The question is, can you put all of this together as an industry? And if you take that, I'm sure many of you, and I see many of you here who've been in this industry for decades, today the products that are available are things that we never even dreamt of 20, 25 years back, right? So if I take many of these things that have come up even in India already, right, a pet product, we never heard of it, backpack insurance, you look at it, bicycle insurance, some of these things never existed. So that's the innovation that's coming out. This is what I call fit for need. But let me share some even funnier products that the rest of the world has already started seeing, right? So I don't know whether you've seen this, called hooligan insurance. This is during the Soccer World Cup. There were companies, Zongan launched this product called hooligan insurance. If you thought that was funny, look at the other one, self-inflicted liver damage, which is saying if you have too much beer, then we'll cover you for it. If you don't find that funny, look at cold feet insurance. So I committed to get married. I decided on a spend. I actually chickened out closer to the date. That is covered in insurance. Okay, so the kind of products that are coming out there are completely out of this world. Will these be mainstream? No. But will these be things that keep the future generations excited? The answer is yes. So you'll actually see a very big shift in the product mix going forward. Number 4, right? Clearly, the industry structure will change completely. I think you're already seeing it. this is no longer the preserve of insurance businesses. Auto companies, all of you know in India, Maruti is one of the largest distributors, but it's still only a distributor. Mercedes-Benz does $3.5 billion of premium as an insurer. Tesla insures all their products themselves. Auto companies are getting into insurance. Airlines getting into travel insurance. Air Asia did nearly 2-digit million policies. Because as customers, going back to the customer journeys we were talking about, I want it as a part of my journey. I don't want to separately buy insurance. And so people who are actually a part of that journey, airlines, auto companies, tech companies, search engines, are all becoming very, very active in insurance. And you can't wish it away. All of them, if they are not there today, are all coming. And you can take this entire segment. I'm sure there are many others that will come in. They will all become a part of the insurance industry. And the good news is that we are also all collaborating. So there is a lot of collaboration happening, many platforms working out. You've seen banking bureaus, insurance bureaus are now coming in gradually. They do exist globally. Fraud repositories, obviously the regulator has been talking about the Bima Sugam. As the industry gets together to create platforms, we get so much scale, we can actually make the industry a lot more efficient. So that's sort of number 4, which says we will have a very different industry structure. Let me take 2 other things which, as I was doing this sort of crystal ball gazing, makes my heart swell with pride. India will be a top 3 insurance market in the world. Right? Top 3. Today, as we speak, if I just take premium as a metric, we are number 10. We're about, as we were saying, 130 odd billion today or yesterday. We have come up from number 20. So we were number 20 in 2000 at the turn of this century. We're number 10 today with some assumptions, and you can, we'll debate on the assumptions over lunch. India will be the number 3 insurance market in the world in absolute premium. If that doesn't get you excited, then let me go to number 6, which says India will have 10 of the top 50 and 20 of the top 100 insurers in the world. Right? As we speak, we only have 1. If I look at it by premium, LIC is the only one in the top 50 as we speak. The only one. There is nobody else. In fact, if I rewind to 2000, LIC was always there. LIC even at that time was number 50. It has kept going up. But LIC was in the top 50 in 2000. LIC is in the top 50 today. In fact, in the top 100, we still only have 1 insurer today. But if you look at the growth rates, where we will be, India will have 10 of the top 50 and 20 of the top 100 insurers in the world. And so those are, I would say, sort of the 6 crystal ball predictions. I will not repeat them. This is a short discussion. I want to make sure we have a discussion. But those are the 6. And as you look at that, this is what it means. We will grow 10x in the next 25 years. We'll be the number 3 insurance market in the world. We will have 20 of the top 100 insurers. And we will have the largest number of policies the world has ever seen. Right? And so as you look at that, the people who have to make this happen are all of you. The reason I say that is the number of dimensions are just multiplying. Right? Climate, cyber, self-driven cars, bite-sized products, real-time, everything, every variable that you can imagine is changing. Every variable. The amount of data available is multiplying. Enough has been said, but the amount of data that is generated in 2023 will be greater than all the data ever generated, period. It's all multiplying. So all of you have to make sense of all of this data, right? And you have to stay ahead of the game. And so the onus is on all of us in this room to actually help make the previous page happen. And as you look at that, one last prediction. I look around this room, there are a few hundred people. I actually predict that by 2047, at least 10 or 20 people in this room will have vacationed on the moon. Right? You'll actually vacation on the moon. But that's obvious, it'll happen. But what's more interesting is when you vacation on the moon, you will actually ask for an Earth view room. Just like you ask for a sea view room in Goa, you will ask for an earth view room so that through the telescope, you can watch your office and your home go by. That's my office and my home. Right? So I don't know. I will leave it to you to judge. Is the future scary? Is the future exciting? Like I said, only you can decide. So I will leave that to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Alpesh. I think that gives us some time for quick Q&A. 5 minutes, do we have? Okay, thank you. Okay, let me take the liberty of asking you the first question because I'm sitting with you, so it makes it easier. My question to you is, you talked about insurance, you talked about insurance products, slightly different, from a financial well-being perspective for an individual when you're talking about the last 25 glorious years of one's life. What is the role of an insurance company, especially from an annuity product standpoint, long-term care standpoint? Because clearly at the age of 75 or 80 years, I don't want to be sitting and going through whether I invest in a large cap, mid cap, or a small cap. I need some product which helps me take care of that. And most of the financial, the planners or everybody just talks about keep investing after you retire also. But that may not be humanly possible, right? So what is your view on that?
No, I think, Preeti, you've hit one of the most critical points. When you look at insurance, people keep asking the question, what is insurance about? And you say, well, it's about covering risk. And specifically when I look at life, the one risk that I don't think people think as much about is the risk of living too long. I think people worry more about the risk of dying too early. Most of our products are suited to that. The way science is progressing, the way human beings are looking after themselves, I think this current generation and the next generation have to worry more about living too long, right? And hence, the challenge, which is what are the right products, how do we deliver those? And again, as actuaries, you have this onerous task in front of you. Because if I'm an individual, what I want is not a lump sum, but I want a fixed benefit as long as I live. The challenge you have is the actuarial tables are all talking about the past. And if you actually price the products with the mortality tables of the past, companies will go bankrupt. And so this whole dilemma is there, but as customers, I think both from a annuity product perspective, but also, we spoke of bundled products. And there are examples now in some markets where insurance companies are building infrastructure of hospitals, they're building old age homes, and they're actually offering those as products which say, we'll actually look after you right through. And so I think both for insurance companies to look at to say, what is the ecosystem that you create to be able to offer the right services and products for customers.
Thanks. Any questions? I don't see any questions on the chat. Nothing? Okay. So all of us are doing our own crystal ball gazing, that means, right? To figure out what our needs are and what our customer needs are. There's one question there? Yeah. Maybe we have time for a couple of questions.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I'm Deval, and the question was very much centered towards that video which you shared. That kind of focuses on a lot of value-added services, the comparison essentially. Now, if you see the Indian market, it is highly price-driven, and it's price-sensitive. So, how do you think in this kind of a market, how the way in this kind of a market structure, how is that going to develop? Because to do that, the only way is that if a company has like really deep pockets to actually stay in that market price range, but at the same time also offer those services and then move ahead. So what is your take on that?
I think I'm a big fan of the fact that you have to de-average. So yes, the market is always price sensitive, not only in India, everywhere. I think the question is, are there a segment of customers who are willing to pay for services? And the answer is certainly yes. Do you buy tickets on Book My Show or not?
I usually don't. I mean, I do only if there is an offer wherein I can.
So how many people in the room buy movie tickets on Book My Show? Right? We pay a big premium. Do you know that you not only pay the ticket price, but for every ticket you pay like 50 rupees or 100 rupees extra?
Right.
Right, as convenience. This is not a price-sensitive segment. And so you will have a lot of people if the services are valuable. So you have to create value for the customer. You saw the experience there. I mean, saying for that kind of an experience, if anybody offered me that, I would actually be willing to pay a premium for it, right? So to your point, yes, it's a price-sensitive country, price-sensitive set of customers, but we are 140 billion people, 1.4 billion people, sorry. I missed it by a few hundred. Will there be 5 or 10 or 20 million people who will be willing to pay for those services? Absolutely. And so you will actually gradually get there. We're talking of the next 20 years. Trust me, India will not remain as poor as you think it is.
No, it's not about. No. It's not about poor actually. It's more about from the point of view that like for example, Book My Show, right? As a lot of people, yes, they are using it, but the way they started, it was mostly because Book My Show offered like a lot of discounts and a lot of those kind of things. So insurance companies per se will also be required to somewhere follow that, right? That trajectory as well.
Maybe.
All right.
The journey could be different, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
I think we've got those huge placards behind us telling us the time is up. So, and that's in red, so cannot ignore it also. Thanks a lot, Alpesh, for a lovely
Thank you.
presentation. And let's give him a big round of applause, please.
I'd request Ms. Preeti to hand over a small token from our side to Mr. Alpesh. I'd request Mr. Ashish Ranjan to come on stage and hand over a small token to Ms. Preeti.